Okay, we are here for another Choose Your Path with me, your host, Sherontelle Dirskell, celebrity publicist, motivational speaker, and number one best-selling author for the number one habit series for entrepreneurial success. I am so grateful and so excited for another episode. Are we ready? Hello, hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. Hi, Miriam. Yay, we're here. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited. Oh my
Great.
goodness, we are here. We've been
Excellent.
wait we've been waiting for oh my goodness, too long, right? This is
Yeah,
exciting.
but it's like Thanksgiving and Christmas coming at the same time here.
Exactly, exactly. So let's talk about it. Thank you so much. Welcome to Choose Your Path, David Martin. I'm so excited for you to be here. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for
Okay,
inviting me.
let's talk about your path. You're a Canadian teacher. For some reason, I put Canadian writer, but whatever. Here we go. Canadian teacher, writer, painter. Oh my goodness, you're based in Paris right now, right?
Right?
Tell
Yeah.
me about how did that path start as a teacher? Let's talk about the teacher portion of you.
The teacher. Okay, sure. That's a good story. I actually had no intention to be a teacher, and that's what the path is all about, doing things that you have no intention to do.
Right, exactly. That's exactly how that happens.
Yeah, I set out. I was when I was at university. The teachers were telling me I was studying art, and they were saying, "Go to New York. You're gonna be so famous down there," and the whole thing. And I actually did go to New York. So that was a long time ago. I was in your city, and I actually dropped out of university and went to New York when I was about 21. Hung out there for a while. Thought I'd be a painter. Thought everybody would see how great and wonderful I was. And but I didn't like
Wow.
it because really I'm from the plains of Canada, Calgary, Alberta, where there's
Mhm.
mountains and sort of hills and sky and the whole thing. New York, I was cramped in there.
Yes, and that's exactly how it is. I'm originally from
Exactly.
Cleveland, Ohio, here in the States. And I used to watch the ball drop, for the New Year's in New York City on TV. And so it looked so exciting to see all of the people and all of the architecture and the tall buildings and everything's moving. And then when you get there, when you get here, because I'm still here on the East Coast, when you get here, you're like, oh, this isn't that much fun at all. This isn't
Yeah.
that much fun at all. You meet some amazing people from all over the world, and I'm so grateful for the experience. Wow, that's awesome. I was
Yeah.
thinking about you because I was watching a Judy Garland documentary. And you came to mind, literally, your name came to mind. And I wrote down this quote. It says, "A heart is not judged by how much you love, but by how much you are loved by others." The Wizard of Oz. I just, I just
That's a great
absolutely
film.
love that. Let's talk about it. How a heart is not judged by how much you love, but how much you are loved by others. These conversations, it was really at first everything was canceled, right? So it was just me coming on, have conversations with friends, try to stay motivated because I thought it was only going to be 2 weeks, maybe three. And then here we are months later, and I'm hoping that through my love and my intention now of bringing and hoping people can find and choose their path and live the life that they want to live, hopefully they hear something out of these conversations they can take back and create their blueprint, right?
Definitely, definitely. You can see the hearts showing up on the screen there. So you're doing
Yay!
something right, Sharon. Tell you're getting a lot of love out there with all these talks and the amazing people you're putting out there, and your heart is shining as well. So
Oh, thank
it's
you
great. It's
so
a win-win for
much.
everybody there. Yeah,
Thank
and
you
you might
so
see a
much.
little painting up behind me here in the thing. That's one of my logo for my business actually now is called Speak the Rainbow, and putting the heart at the center of your communication is really the center of that idea. So the heart, yeah, resonates with me, and it's a good place to begin. And And the Wizard
Isn't
of
that
Oz, yeah.
amazing?
That's what I went for at Halloween. I dressed up as the Wizard of Oz. So
No
that's
way.
my
See,
Halloween.
yeah, and that was really, when I watched it, I was like, oh my goodness, it really made me think of you. So let's do it then. Let's see, let's paint a picture. I love sometimes with certain people that I speak to and energy that I feel, I love to paint a picture through our conversation, right? So I think that we should start with, we're both speakers. I think it would be a beautiful thing for us to go on stage. We're going to go
Yeah,
on stage. We're here in a pandemic though, right? So we don't
right.
have any camera crew. We don't have like a huge audience, but we're on stage. I'm sitting in a chair. You're sitting in a chair, and we're going to have a conversation for the next hour. We're going to have an amazing discussion. How about that?
That's perfect for me. That's why I'm showing up here today. I was so excited. I knew it's going to be a good conversation.
I know. I'm so excited. You do. You already have it, Martina. I see it. It's there.
The Purple Heart.
The Purple
Good.
Hearts. The most amazing, beautiful thing. You can donate to the show, right? And you get these beautiful hearts, and I get to see who donated, and I just get to say hello and thank you so
Yeah.
much. And I was also thinking that what I would do with the donations is I was at home recently, and I rode past a homeless shelter, and I seen the women sitting out there, like at a certain time, I guess they have to leave. And they were sitting out on the lawn. And I said, how beautiful it is maybe to cater to the women for a day. You know, something along that lines. I know I'm still trying to think about what I'm
Mhm.
going to do with it, but I'm definitely going to take it and give it back, and
Yeah.
place it somewhere beautiful.
So that Purple Heart thing, that's a new addition. I've been showing up on some of your calls. I never saw it before. So
Yeah,
you
that's what it is.
you just added it on there. Nice touch.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Instagram. Because I didn't even know it was there. They reached out and told me about it. And I said, wow, this is so cool. This is so great. Thank you so much. What in your life right now do you feel most grateful?
Well, I'm grateful for amazing things that are showing up every day. Actually, I'm supposed to be buying an apartment at the end of this month. And
Oh, that's a good
at the end of
thing.
this week, actually, not even the end of this month. And I'm grateful for that
Oh,
because
that
it sort
is
of came
definitely
out
a
of the
blessing.
blue. It just showed up in my path. Amazing little story that a couple of months ago I had no idea was going to happen, and it's happening this week. So I'm grateful for that. And it's sort of a strange thing because I was looking at a lot of ads for months and months and having no hope. And there was always this little apartment that was just talking to me as an ad, but it was too small. It wasn't right. So I said, I'm going to go visit it. And I actually visited it. And while I was there, the realtor, she understood it wasn't right for me, but she asked me if I had more money, just a little bit more money. And I said, sure, if it was a fun place. So she showed me this other apartment across the street, which is double the size and perfect for me. And I was like, this thing's not even on the market. So I just had to show up for that one thing, and it opened up this door. And that's the only apartment I ever visited. And this other
Isn't
one
that
came
beautiful?
miraculously. So that's what I'm grateful for. But first, you have to go out there and see what's out there for you.
Right, exactly. We have to go out and look. And that's the beautiful thing. Like, if you don't go out and search, you will never find. You will never find,
Exactly.
right?
And you throw away that first idea that I don't know why that apartment was speaking to me, even though it wasn't right for me. I said, I got to go visit this thing. Who knows? So I went and visited, and then all this other thing happened as a result. So sometimes those little things that are speaking to you, you have to follow up on them, even if you're not sure
Absolutely.
why.
I'm grateful for this conversation, definitely, because I know that we've been waiting literally weeks for this conversation. But I'm also grateful to be alive and well. I'm
Yeah.
so grateful for so many things. Like, I do a gratitude journal every day, and
Mhm.
I'm grateful for my eyesight. I'm grateful that I can speak. I'm grateful that I have my 2 feet and I can walk. I'm grateful for, I write a long list of things, and I'm grateful for every single day. And
Yeah.
that's why I asked that question, because it is just, sometimes it's so easy to complain. It's so easy to talk about things that aren't right. But I think that we should try to change our mindset of how we're looking at things, and have a positive mindset and be grateful for where we are and whatever it is that we have, right?
Totally. I totally agree with you. And I did the gratitude journal, and I know exactly what you're going with
Oh,
that.
you did?
Actually,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got my own, I'm a big journaling man, and I'll show you this a bit later, but I do it
Okay.
every morning. What I write down is I write down 3 actions and 3 celebrations. So I don't really say
Oh, that's
gratitude,
a
but I
good
say, what am I
idea.
celebrating? And so I always go for the 3 celebrations, which is an act of gratitude as well.
That
And
is.
and so, yeah, I do that every morning. And sometimes I don't do the to-do list, the actions, because I'm a little bored out of it, forcing myself. But, 3 actions you can always do and put them down and then go out and do them and then celebrate some other things that happen in the day that are positive.
Oh my goodness. So TEDx speaker, and you also coach speakers. How did that happen? That's one of my dreams.
Well, it all happened out of the thing that I wanted to be an artist. That's the story at the beginning, and then I wanted to do writer because I've done a lot of writing as well. And I had all
Hmm.
these opportunities, but I could never sell myself. I could never talk to anybody about what I do. And so then I got into public speaking because I knew that was really my weakness was going out and talking to people about what I can do. And then I realized that I'm pretty good at public speaking. And, and after a while, I started to see that I could actually, move forward with that. And I came up with a little method, which I call Speak the Rainbow, which is based
Yes,
on
which we're going to definitely talk
7
about.
simple things. And then I said, I can help people with this. So that's how it came about. And then people that I knew had done the TEDx, and I said, well, I helped other people. Why don't I do it myself? I didn't know what I was going to talk about, but I sent off anyways to ask if I could do it. And then it worked out really cool because it was with young people. They had all these ideas. They wanted me to learn about robots, the whole thing. So you never know the learning process that's going to put you in. You don't have to be ready to start.
No, that's very true. That is so true. That is definitely one of my dreams. It's on my list of to do. People laugh at me when I say that because, when you're on TV and I've had all of these amazing experiences at that, and like that's easy. You can do that. I'm like, you think so? I don't know. How do you formulate a speech such as a TEDx? Like, is it, how do you do that?
You just need an idea. Normally they only want one idea. And what is the base of TED conferences and TEDx is based on an idea worth sharing. So if you have one idea worth sharing, you can fill up 18 minutes with it, or even 10 minutes, or even 5 minutes. You don't have to do the full 18 minutes, but it's basically just an idea worth sharing. And everybody in yourself certainly has an idea worth sharing. And that's what the concept is. So it's not like a mountain you have to climb. It's just
Yeah.
a lot of people want to do it, so you have to find the opportunity. That's probably the bigger challenge, is to find the stage, and then the idea is just going to come and unfold for you. And that's the great thing. I helped other people. They weren't sure what their idea was, but working with it, the idea came forward, and then they shared that one idea that's worth sharing.
Oh my goodness, that is so awesome. One of my goals, and I go back to choose your path, is that I want people to know that they can create the life that they want, really, right? They have to believe that it actually can become so. And they have to trust the process. It's definitely a process. We are like now over 10 years in for me. I started out as a music publicist, and then 2017, my heart completely stopped. And when I survived that, I said, oh, I think I need to start doing things a little differently. And I decided to start speaking. I always love to speak, though. I love an audience. I love to get on the microphone and say, hello, everybody. I'm Sherontelle. Everything is great. Like, it feels good. But when you're trying to formulate for key takeaways, you know what I mean? It's more than just getting on the microphone and speaking. It's actually really formulating an amazing speech where it could be heartfelt and people can take something away from it. Then that became something different. But it has been an amazing journey for me. Do you feel that you've chosen your path, or did your path choose you?
Um, the path definitely chose me. I chose to move towards it, and actually I chose when I was back in Calgary after being in New York. And I went to the north of Canada to work for a while in the forest and everything, get some money. And then I came back and I said, I'm going to be an artist. I'm going to have my studio and the whole thing. And a friend lent me one and I was just loving it. And then he never paid the rent. So he was off in Japan modeling and all that. And somebody asked me to pay the rent. I said, what? I thought he paid the rent. So basically I was thrown out on the street, and I was a bit shocked. So I was unhappy. So I just got on the bus one day and left town and went across country to Montreal. And I'd never been to Montreal and never even imagined to go there. And I ended up there. And that's when I went back to university and changed totally my path. I went into literature and writing. And,
Wow.
and I said, I'm going to start over. I don't know anything about this. I'm going to try something different. And I guess I was angry, and
That pushed you. It pushed you into your aha moments. Did you ever have any doubts that it wouldn't work?
Yeah, I had a lot of doubts because it was it wasn't my chosen path. It was a difficult path because it was easy for me to paint and to draw and to create. Art was not even a challenge, but really working with words has always been a challenge for me. And like I said in a speech recently, that was my kryptonite. And it's just taking hold of the kryptonite and holding on to it and saying, what's going to come out of it? It was a battle. And in the end, I ended up being a teacher and a public communication coach and all the things. So if you hold on to your kryptonite hard enough, it's going to turn into something good.
Hold on to it. What are some of the what are some of the preparations that you have to put together in order to put a great presentation? In order to, I don't want to say perfect presentation because I don't think anything is perfect, but just that great presentation. What does that look like?
That's true. There's nothing perfect about being on stage or making a speech. We don't try for perfect. That doesn't make sense because everybody in the audience is going to receive it differently. Just like tonight, some people are loving it. Some people have already shut it off and said they're not feeling it. And that's okay.
That is.
When you go out to speak, and I did stand-up comedy for a few years, some nights you don't get the audience is not getting where your vibe is. You're too old for them. You're too white for them. You're too male for them.
All of that. That's true.
People are not getting your vibe. So you say, okay, that was bad. Not another night out there. Everybody's going to love your jokes. And so you show up for your audience and you don't worry that everybody has to love what you're going to say. And but you really do need to think about your audience. Think about who you want to connect with in that group and say, okay, I need a message for them. It's not just me talking here. It's me talking for them.
That's
and
so
when you
true.
think about your audience, it's going to happen and you're going to connect at least with some of the people.
That is very true. I do this radio show every Sunday with Dr. Adrian Daisley.
Yeah.
I think that you know him, right? And so last Sunday, it was such an amazing show. And I was like, I think it's, even though my work is for the people, definitely, I felt like I needed that. You know, when I felt like I needed it too. I was like, I needed this show. It was a really good show. And I was like, I felt enlightened and I felt inspired by our own show. It was so great.
You're making the rainbow. That's why I named my thing Speak the Rainbow, because that colorful connection between you and the audience is going to feed into you and it's going to feed into them, and it's going to be like that bridge between the two pots of gold. You're sharing the best part of you and they're sharing it back with you, and that's why I just love it. And if you get those connections, not every time it happens, but
no, that's true. But when it does,
it uplifts you as well as it uplifts your audience. And that's the rainbow connection. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. How do you engage with your audience?
The most important thing, first off, is to be authentic. And one of the challenges for me was I was a lot in my head and getting down into the body, getting into the physical, standing and getting in your body and not just being in the mental frame, and bringing it down into your body, into your heart. And that way people feel you're anchored, you're authentic, you're there. and smiling as well, because for years people said,
I love the
wow,
smile.
so angry. And it took me a long time to get the smile on my face. And
Oh,
that helps. That helps. It helps you connect, and it helps everybody else connect with you. And it's not difficult, because when you look for joy, and it's a joy speaking into you tonight. So the smile comes easily when you look for joy. You know.
when you look at all my pictures from a little girl, I was always smiling. This has been me since little person. I absolutely love to smile. Even when I'm in pain, I smile. It just feels so good, and it makes things so much better. And I think I've smiled so much that I have the little dimples on the side, because I really keep it there. I wake up in the morning with just so much. I'm just like so happy, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm here. I'm still here.
Yeah.
And I hope that I hope that people definitely feel that it's definitely genuine purple soul connection. Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of,
Lot, a lot of
let's
nice
talk about
comments.
this. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about the rainbow.
I
I
just
want
before I
to
tell you that, let me tell you.
yes.
Let's compare, because you said you were born with that smile and the whole
Uh-huh.
thing.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I made an intention when I got out of the metro, because I live in Paris. We take the metro here, subway, New York. I take the metro close to where I work, and it's about 3 blocks to where I'm actually teaching in the center of Paris. And I made a conscious effort for years when I got out of there to walk those 3 blocks with a smile on my face, because that was the only way. I said I got to change my face. That was a real intention, to actually change those muscles in my face, because I said when I'm doing stand-up comedy, everybody says I'm angry, so I wanted to have that smile on my face. So I really had to work at it.
You had to work at it, and it came. Isn't that funny how like sometimes it comes so natural to others, and others are like,
Exactly. Yeah.
I got a
So.
smile. Here we go. How does that feel? Is it good? You guys like it? And how did that work for you though? Once you found that smile?
Well, it's pretty easy now. It's more and more present, and that's the great thing. So work on it. Work on it. You never give up. And the best advice I can give somebody is it's not the smile, it's the joy. The joy has to be inside, and then it's just going to come out of you anyway. So more about finding the joy than finding the smile, because people always used to say, why don't you smile on stage? And I was always fixed on the smile, but it's not the smile, it's the joy inside. When the joy comes out, then you can't stop your smile. So you must have a big pile of joy inside you.
Because this is amazing. This is an amazing opportunity. I never thought in a million years that Instagram live conversations, but it's growing. It's amazing. Like I didn't know. That's the beautiful thing. You got to take one step. Just take one step, and the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, it, it just almost answers to you, to that thing of which you put the attention to. Stay consistent, believe, have great intention, and it'll just take off and have a life of its own. It really does. It takes off and have a life of its own. I never thought as a music publicist that I would have been on national TV. I thought that was really cool. I put myself in as a audience member. I would go and sit in the audience, and I would just sit there and I would watch, and I would just be amazed at the lights, the camera, the action. I would be amazed at everybody running around and trying to get things together. I loved the show before the show, right? And one day something clicked, and I said, I want to be on the stage. I want to sit on the stage, and I want to talk to, whoever the host for the show. And my first show was with Dr. Oz, and we talked about insomnia, because before 2017, I was working over 75 hours a week. I mean, just
Right.
going, clients and working nights and I was doing a bunch of things, and it definitely added up to over 75 hours a week. And one of my biggest lessons that I learned is just because you're busy, it doesn't mean that you're being productive, right?
Right. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm happy that I am more productive. Business is great, probably the best as it has ever been in this season. I'm so grateful for it. And I'm also grateful for everyone that tunes in every single week to hear these conversations. And that brings great joy because it seems it could, if your perception, if you're looking at what is, it can look like the world is on fire right now.
Great. It's great. I love this
Yeah.
story about you showing up and being in the audience and saying, I can do this, because that's basically what it's about. It's getting that feeling that you can do it, and then that ball gets rolling, and if you don't think you can do it, the ball's never gonna get rolling. But you were
It
sitting there in the audience.
never gets rolling. I was
I'm
sitting
already
in the
here. All I just
audience.
need is a few steps to get on that stage, and
Yep,
the
yep.
process is going to start off for you. And that's basically how I got into teaching. One day I'd done all sorts of little jobs, because in Montreal I was worked in a restaurant as a dishwasher. I was trying to learn French, trying to get connection, get a little bit of money. I was a bicycle delivery boy like 30 years ago and stuff like that, delivering beer and crazy things. But then I said, man, I got to do something a little bit more fun. So I remembered I could play tennis. So I got out an old tennis racket and I went up to a tennis club and I said, I imagine you're looking for a coach this year because it's the beginning of the season. And they said, yeah, we are, in fact. So I said, well, I can do it. And they said, okay, well, what's, and then I went out and did it, and I hadn't even done it ever. So,
That is so funny.
and I had a great summer. And what I realized is that I couldn't even take a set off the best coaches at that club, but I could get my students playing in a couple of weeks. They would be playing almost as good as me. And I knew I could teach. So I was like, man, I can do this. So just getting out there and saying I can do it. And it showed up for me. So
Yes, passion. Where does your passion come from?
where's my passion come from now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm getting on in years, and I feel like
No way.
I feel like I'm just beginning. So I think now is like every day is I want to savor it, and I want to get out there even more, and really say there were a lot of things that I could have done, and I got a few years left to do them. So that's where the passion comes from, and you're like, I'm going to take hold of this and go forward with it. And I got a box a few years ago. My present partner, she said, you don't want anything. What is going on in your life? And I was, living with my ex-wife and my children, and everything was around them. It was revolving around them. And I didn't have any dreams for myself. And now I got a box full of dreams and it's overflowing. So
Where did all that self-love come from? I posted something the other day and I said, you have to bring self-love in every single relationship in your life. It's absolutely important. It's absolutely necessary. So where did that self-love come from? How did you realize it? How did you find it?
Yeah, I always had it before, and I got lost for about 20 years in a family and looking after what they were, and I thought what they needed, but they didn't want it. But I always thought that they needed it. So, it was not the right street to go out because they weren't wanting what I was trying to give. And so then I sort of, scaled back, and I didn't have any self-love at that time. So then I got off the sofa one day, and that's when I started the public speaking, and I really, left out and did stand-up comedy by myself. And that's when I met other people that were having great times, and there was great times.
Oh,
I
that
came
gotta
home
feel
totally
great.
on fire, and then I was back with my family, and there was no fire there anymore.
That gotta feel so great. Isn't that amazing how we can find ourselves in life giving people what we think that they want from us when really they just need our authenticity. They just need us to be who we are. And when we can be our true selves and come and give them us, then they're like, he finally went within. He finally went over the rainbow, grabbed the treasure, and here he is. And yay! Now I can give you love back because now you found that love for yourself. Because we can't give anybody anything that we don't have, right? Even though we think, we can create illusions, and illusions are dust in the wind. And it's so amazing when we can find that. So kudos to you.
Yeah.
Yay!
Can I put some hearts on the screen for you? Because what you just said, that is so true. that we can't give what we don't have. And when we do find that self-love, you say, the other person sees ourselves, and then, like you said, that's the rainbow. Suddenly they can relax as well, because we're not doing anything that's outside of our own integrity, because that's who we are. And if they don't like it,
Exactly.
then they're going to move on anyways. And
I don't think I've cared about how someone felt since I was in high school. Oh my goodness, high school was horrible for me. I was bullied, I was teased, I was trying to go down other streets so I wouldn't get beat up and all this other stuff because I was just not a fighter. I'm a lover. And then once I became an adult, I was so happy for that experience and so grateful for it, because then I started to love myself, and I started to speak to myself in the mirror and who was reflecting back at me, and I said, what were they talking about? All that time I thought I was such an ugly duckling. Now there must be crazy. I realized that however someone felt about me, it had everything to do with what they were thinking and what they were feeling. It had nothing to do with me whatsoever. That is so beautiful. I don't care. I just really don't care. So if I get on stage and bomb, I'm grateful for that experience, because then it teaches me lessons of how I can, critique and make things better. Oh, have I bombed? I mean, but one of the things that you said earlier was being authentic. And I remember asking my daughter, because I was talking to I was getting ready to talk to high school students. And I said, oh man, because kids they can really give it to you, right?
yeah.
And she said, Mom, just when you go, just be who you are. We can tell. Soon as you start speaking on that microphone, we can tell if you're not being yourself. And I said, okay, I'll just go and be myself. And I've spoken to several schools since then. And it has been such an amazing experience just to be myself.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you're really good with those kids as well. You got so many good stories and messages
Oh,
to share.
God.
So
Yeah,
that's
I want them to know they are enough.
yeah,
So many times, even as adults too, we feel like we're not enough. Yes, you are. You are enough. That's it. It's just you, right?
yeah.
So yeah, give the world you. And I know that's so hard, because we have all of these social media. We have people posting pictures and showing extravagant this and that, and that's amazing too. But if that's not your space that you're in right now, that's fine. Be grateful for where you are, and always have that hope and moving forward to what can be. No, it can be. It is possible. It definitely is possible. What do you think the true essence of love, empathy, and understanding? What do you think that true essence of that is?
That's a big question there.
That's a huge that's a
You got
huge question.
you
But
got three things
if
in
you
there.
had to, I know, because you're such an amazing writer. So I know that you can, like, let's pretend that we're going to make a synopsis for love, empathy, and understanding. What would you say?
That's I got a lot of issues with empathy.
Uh-huh. You do?
Yeah, and
Tell me
uh,
why.
I don't know. I pick up a lot of things about people, but then
Uh-huh.
I come in with some sort of mental thing and start to add a lot of judgment on it too. So I have some sort of superpower of understanding things, but then some old mental thing comes in and starts putting a lot of judgment on top of it. So
Uh-huh.
I think what you're saying with love and understanding and empathy is really is listen, because that's what empathy is. Is
Yes.
really listen without the judgment, and just lay off that mental projection or images that you're going to have about other people, because you don't really know them and they might not even know themselves. So you might be picking up things, and that's great, and you might be feeling things, and you might be able to really resonate with what they're all about. But just let that feeling there, and don't put any mental coloring on it about judging them for this or for that, or and there you're getting to the love. If you can do that, then you're really
Mm.
starting to share some love.
Love conquers all. Absolutely. I worked as an EMT for 15 years, so I definitely I modeled empathy, because when you have patients, you have to come with a
Mhm.
certain level of understanding. You will hear things that you don't quite understand. You're like, why did that? What? Where are you going? You can't show that on your face. So I definitely understand empathy. I feel like sometimes, though, a lot of people in the world don't have that. We do a lot of judging and have our own perceptions of what things should be. And I don't think anybody is right or wrong. Whatever you believe is right. If that's what you believe in your heart, that's what you believe in your heart, and I'm okay with that. If you think it's wrong, then it's wrong. That's your perception. That's just how I live, and that's how I see the world. I live with an open mind and an open heart. So us
Exactly.
all. We are a human race, and we all need to understand that we come from different backgrounds, shades, beautiful shades of colors, right? Speaking
Yeah,
of the
true.
rainbow. Yep, speaking of the rainbow. Let's go back to the rainbow. So we have the 7 keys of colorful communication. I wrote it down because there was no way that I was going to remember. There was no way. But the one thing that did stick out was the green, hope.
Right. Exactly.
Hope.
Hope. Yeah. And
Yes.
that's right in the middle of it. That's right in the middle of the rainbow. You got 3 colors on one side, you got 3 colors on the other side, but right in the middle of the rainbow is the green, and the green is hope, which is in the Bible, the symbol of the rainbow is hope. And that's funny that it's that color right in the middle. And hope is what we do. Like tonight, we're giving people hope that their lives can be better, or that they can change their life, or that's what motivational and inspirational speakers do. They give hope. You're sharing hope when you're talking to those young students, saying, yeah, go
Yes.
out there, don't worry about it, and if you make a mistake, you can get out there and do it again. So giving people a positive vision of the future is hope, and it's so vital. And you got to find that hope for yourself before you can give it to other people, like you say. And
I
so
think
that's
this is
one of the
beautiful.
colors.
You created. I want to go back and tell everyone that you created this amazing book titled "The Seven Colorful."
The 7 keys to colorful
To
community.
seven, yes, keys of communication. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yes, and one of them is green. Green, which stuck out for me, was hope, and then you have red for emotions.
That's right. Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
That's what we were talking about a few minutes ago, about the love and the hate that people can bring too much of, and they can really color all of their communication with those hateful messages, or maybe they want to share too much emotion of a painful story, and it overwhelms the audience, and they're like, well, that's too much for me, I don't want to go there. So you don't know what your audience, you have to sort of judge how much your audience can take in terms of an emotional story. And just a little touch of emotion, even in a name or a place, like I talked about New York, and people are, they all resonating with some emotional value in because they visited it, or they've got a memory of it, or they had a bad experience there. So we have to be aware when we're communicating, all these words can trigger emotions in our audience.
Oh yes, that's so true. Oh, look, where did my head go?
And
I
all the
wanted to.
stories we share can trigger emotions too. So that's something when you come out to do public speaking, you have to be aware of, and sharing emotions and knowing the red aspect of our speaking could be overwhelming for some people, but we love it as well. We love those emotions when they connect.
Yes, we do. I wanted to put your name at the bottom, but it cuts my head off. I'm gonna do like this, so they can so everyone can follow you. Speak the rainbow. I don't know why it's doing that.
The cool thing about the rainbow is that you've got the colors, and you've got opposites, because the opposite of emotions, for example, all our emotions come from the
Yeah,
past.
it's not working.
We have past experiences, and when we tell stories, we're telling basically things in the past that happened to us. And the green is the opposite of that, and it's all about the future. So, you know, if we're speaking, we're talking something in the past, something in the future, and this is working because people need a takeaway for the future. They don't just need a story about the past, they need to know how they can go forward. And if you're going to do a TEDx talk, you have to tell people how they can go forward and what's going to benefit them in the end with your story or what your message is. So it's you need both to have a successful beginning. Yeah.
And one of your quotes, the goal of communication is not perfection, it is connection. I love that.
Great. Thank you
I
for reading that.
I absolutely love that. Let's go through the colors here. So we got red for emotions, orange for energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
You got
goodness.
bags of energy. You got lots of energy.
I got a lot of energy. Okay. Okay, I'm on my way to I'm on my way, TEDx. I'm on my way.
People used to tell me I was all over the place. I had too much energy. So sometimes you can have too much, and you have to be careful. Your audience doesn't want too much energy because you're going to exhaust them. But sometimes you have to bring up the energy in the room. But knowing that your energy is feeding with the energy of your audience, it's a whole,
You
feeding.
can feel it.
Yeah.
When you're on the microphone, you can feel the energy from the room. You can literally feel if you lost half of the room. It's a
So
feeling that
yeah, it is. And you're in control of it because you're the one with the microphone. So you have to know how to judge your energy and bring it up or bring it down. And it could be just really silent and calm energy. You could sit down on the edge of the stage and just talk really with a low level of energy and really connect with people in silence. And so you can always change your energy, and your audience will change to adapt to you as well.
wow, that is so what an amazing path that we're on. Yellow
That's what we
is
talked about before,
we
joy
talked
and the
about joy. Yeah. I
confidence.
know because someone asked, they wanted to know, thank you, 10K cards, for putting that. Because I'm like, I'm trying to do it and it wasn't working. Thank you so much. Because I want them to go and follow you. Speak the rainbow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. I just want to go through the colors: red emotion, orange energy, yellow joy. We definitely spoke about the joy, green for hope, blue.
Blue vision. Yeah. What you're bringing, what's unique about you, what's your vision. You were on TV. That's your background. You're a motivational speaker, and you've done, even your hospital experience comes right through you,
Oh,
like
I love it.
talking about that insomnia. That's your vision of the world. And you said that gave you the strong empathy that you still have today, so that's your vision, and that makes you unique and makes your vision valuable for others to listen to you. And that's a big part of what you're doing, is giving people your vision. But be careful not to give only your vision. You have to listen to other people's too. So
Oh, yes. And that's what I love about these conversations, because I can talk, I can go. But I can also, I'm also a great listener, and I'm like, bro, tell me more, because I want to know, because I learn from, your journey, and I also learn every time when I talk about my journey. I'm like, oh my goodness, I did that. Wow, that's so cool. Because
exactly,
I'm
that's
so busy moving forward that I don't even take a moment
we're
anymore.
we're sharing two completely different visions of the world. Mine from Paris, yours from wherever you are, and we're connecting with other people, and our vision is just one perspective of the world, which is so rich, in all sorts
Oh.
of different visions. So the more you bring onto your show, and I saw some really memorable people on your show already, and they
Mm.
opened up to me to a whole different thing, so
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so glad. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, it's so beautiful we come from totally different backgrounds, but we share so many common uh, things and visions and goals. And that's what makes us so great and so unique, It's so great. It's so great. What about, we have purple and indigo depth. Are
and
they
we
together?
no, it's two different colors.
Okay.
Depth is. I remember one time I was watching you. You brought out The Art of War, and you said this is a
Oh,
great book.
that's one of my favorites.
Exactly, and you came out with that, and I said, there she goes. She's going to give us indigo depth. And you love that when you're reading out those quotes or those little things, those little proverbs. That's what you're giving people depth. You're saying, this is a deep idea I want to share with you. And even that quote at the beginning of my book, that communication is not about perfection but about connection, that gives depth to my book, and it anchors the material, and this is what depth is all of the knowledge we're giving people, and sometimes the facts or the information we want to share gives people that depth, and we're all hungry. All humans are hungry for knowledge and depth, so we got to throw that in there, but we don't want to throw too much in there
And lose,
and
right?
lose the
Lose
audience.
them.
Like,
Yeah.
whoa, there's too much knowledge here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got
That's
to
why
mix it up.
when I talk about Art of War, sometimes I do bring it up. I would just give like 5 things that I think is so important. And one of them is just the management of life and how we're going through and how we're navigating, I think is really, really, truly, truly important. One of those things in the pandemic is that here in the United States, we were running out of food in the grocery stores in the beginning, and tissue and all of those things. And I was sad about it because I said, wow, they were like hovering over all of this stuff, right? And not even thinking about the neighbor. What about the neighbor? The neighbor, your neighbor may need tissue. Your neighbor may need that canned good. Can you get just enough? Because a lot of it is perishables anyway. It's not gonna last that long. So why fill your cart with all of those things and not even think about your neighbor? That's how I was thinking. I think it was the empathy part that maybe came out. I don't know.
They were getting controlled by their red emotions, and they were like, wow, I'm going to be suffering here. And red emotions all about that pain, and I'm not going to have enough, and I'm not good enough, and I got to get this, because these are just emotional triggers that are saying, man, I got to get out there and fight for this because we're in a struggle, and it's life or death.
Right, exactly.
It's just the emotions controlling us, and people are lacking depth because they didn't want to listen to the facts. You know, the facts is that this is a bad thing. You should stay at home, and not everybody. Some people wanted to listen to the facts, but other people just wanted to listen to their emotions. So I always knew it was going to get out of control in America.
Oh, definitely did. Yeah, we were going crazy. I said, for weeks you couldn't find tissue. I said, my goodness. And all that come to my mind is all of these people in the store that did hoarding, basically. They didn't even think about their neighbor. They didn't think about their neighbor. Me. You don't know. They didn't think about their neighbor. What about purple soul?
The soul. That's like we were talking before, being authentic and being
vulnerable. We touched on the rainbow.
And showing yourself able to improvise and be in the moment, you know, because if we go out with a speech which is so perfect, it's not going to resonate. We have to be in the moment. Like tonight, we're really speaking with the soul, and people have noticed that because none of this is scripted.
No, it's not
TV. And that's the amazing thing about the great actors. They can always put their soul into every scene, even though it's scripted. They have that capacity to improvise it and bring their soul into it. And that's why they're paid so much money, because they know how to play with that purple soul and create that illusion that it's the first time they've ever said those lines, but it's like the 1 millionth time that they've said it, you know. But
that's so beautiful.
Getting out on the stage and making it look like it's just for your audience the first time you ever did it, you know.
And every time I do that, every time I come on live, I'm like, I don't have like a whole script of things. There are always certain questions that I do ask everyone because we are in a pandemic. So it's Dr. Daisley is calling me while we're live. Speaking of Dr. Daisley, right? I must have like sent out the telepathic waves. We have a question. How does the rainbow compare to all the personality traits, and how can they be applied in the workplace or in business?
That's a good question, because I started off with this method about public speaking, and then I realized that it could be a life method as well. And if I go out every day with the right emotions, knowing that love and hate, they're never going to leave you. They're always going to be there in your mental process. Some things you're going to love, some things you're going to hate. But if you don't get too bogged down in them, because there are other colors in the rainbow, you say, I got to get my energy right for the day. I got to get my joy happening. I got to get some hope in my day. And then also some vision, and listen to other people's vision. And then think about the depth that you bring into the meeting or the exchanges you have. Are you giving people the knowledge they need and things like this? Or even if you don't have knowledge, say, well, what depth do you need? Maybe you got to go out and learn something or train something or read a book or something. And then you got to say, well, what am I doing with my soul? And am I getting inspired with imagination, with intuition? So if you have the 7 things, then your life's going to actually be better, I think, because those are pretty amazing tools, you know. So
no, that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Where can they find it? She said, find the rainbow every day around. Absolutely. Well,
Exactly.
every day, I truly believe that we have to renew our mind. There is the good book that says, renew your mind daily. And I think that every day we have to choose to live, right? We have to
Yeah.
choose to live. It's a choice every day that we're grateful to open our eyes. We have to make a choice. And how we make that choice determines sometimes how our outcome of our day will go. Obviously, we know that there are external events that are happening and we can't control that. But the internal and how we're looking and how we're perceiving, we have control over that. So I'm going with the rainbow. Yes,
Exactly.
find the rainbow
And
every day, every
every
day.
day and every moment, the rainbow's there when we want to see it and we want to believe it's there. The rainbow can be there every moment on our path. We don't have to have that spectacular thing in the sky to feel the rainbow with us or are going to show up. You say, it might just be around the corner. I'm looking for it. And I got like a feeling now. I say, wow, there's some rainbow out there. And
I now have to, I'm going to talk about the gift. Shout out to my amazing sponsor, 10K Cards. Let's see which one will work better. One here. Let's see. There we go. We'll try that one there. 10K Cards. Oh, you have now gone digital, right?
yeah,
So this is a digital business card, all of your amazing brand all in one place. So when someone scans this QR code, it goes right to their phone and it looks as if you have your own amazing app. Like literally, you will see when you do it, you can add the bookmark and there'll be your face there. And you're like, hey, that's me. I got my own app. And that's exactly what this is. 10K Cards. Thank you so much. So each guest that comes onto the show, we give them this amazing digital business card because this is just, I absolutely love it. Yep, 10K Cards. See it? What is Speak the Rainbow? And then you click on there and you watch the video and you can find out what is all of this talk about rainbow. And then you got the Instagram and we can find you on Facebook and we can find your website and we can find your YouTube. Everything about David Martin we can find right here in one place. So yeah, there you go.
that's a
There's the
very cool
gift.
gift. Thank you. And I'm just so impressed. You're such a star of social media and getting out the communication. And I'm a communication coach, but you're like a communication god, you know, or goddess. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. It is so funny. They laughed, and once again, they laughed at me 10 years ago when I told them. They're like, "Oh, Twitter this and that, and ha ha ha." And I was like, "Okay, all right, I'm telling you." So here we are now. We're like almost, I don't want to say forced, but literally forced to come into this digital world because I was ready to, travel all over the world this year to speak. I was ready. I
Yeah.
was booked. And then everything started to cancel. And it was like, and then I was like, what are we going to do now? We got to keep moving forward, right? So here we are with this amazing platform and the radio show and now best-selling author of a book titled Number One Habit for Entrepreneurial Success. How amazing is that?
I got to get
Yeah.
myself a copy.
Absolutely. Click the link in the bio, 10K Cards. Yeah, you can, and it's amazing. I got the opportunity to contribute with 100, I think it's over 150 of us of all over the world, successful entrepreneurs where we talk about habits. And one of mine was goal setting. I never did that. I would just let the day happen, however it happened. And that's just too crazy because you got phone calls, emails, and you got to really construct your day because if you don't, then you'll be like when I went river tubing, it'll just take you. And you have no control, right? You got to have some sort of
That's a good
control over
metaphor.
your
That's
day.
a good
Yeah, yeah,
metaphor.
yeah.
River tubing, yeah.
Because that's what it was. When I went river tubing, I didn't have no control. You just let it. You sit in the tube, and you just let it go, and you're just one with nature, literally, and you hope that you come to the end of the path, and you get to cheer yourself on and say, "I made it! I made it!" So yeah, it's so great. I'm so excited. I am really grateful for this conversation, and I got to read more into it, and I'm gonna have to read it again. This is amazing. How can someone get it? The creator, life. You're the creator. Life. Life is a rainbow. What about? Oh, one more thing. What about the oracle cards?
The Oracle cards. You, actually, I got this is the prototypes here. You see, they're not as beautiful as the real ones, but my partner ran off with the real ones. And she's actually confined in another part of France. So
Oh,
she's actually on the call tonight. She said get a few comments already. So
oh,
I'm
really?
happy to
Oh,
see
nice.
you
Oh,
connected with us. And I'll put in the chat after what the real cards look like. But she left me with the prototype, which is not very beautiful.
oh, that's okay. But
But
tell us about it. What is
I
it?
made this. I made this just this summer, and I don't know where it came from, but I'm journaling, and ideas are coming this summer. And I
I
took
know,
one
me
of my
too.
old images, and I'm always drawing images, and I said I put it on a photocopy, and I was thinking I would paint it, but then I thought, oh, that looks pretty cool. Let's put it on a little
Mm.
Bristol card. So I put it on a Bristol card like this, and I don't know if I can find it, but I'll just show you one of the cards that I made. This is called the Unlocked Heart, you know. So
Oh, I love it.
these are just little drawings that I made over the summer, and I put it together, and then it works as an oracle, sort of to give people a chance to think about where they are and what decisions they want to make. And I made it originally to help people transform themselves by giving positive messages. It's not a creepy oracle, or there's no angels involved, or it's more a motivational oracle of getting people out there and enjoying it. So if you want, I'll draw you a card. We'll see. Are you curious?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay, so I'll shuffle the cards. You can see I'll shuffle the cards like that. I'm not
Okay.
looking at them, okay? And
Okay.
you tell me when you want me to stop.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. This is the card I drew for you. Now, I don't know if you had a question. I should ask you to make a question. You want to make a question? If
Let's
you want to see the
see.
card.
A question pertaining to my card?
Well, we could have started with a question, but I'll show you the card. This is
Okay.
the card. The ladder.
The ladder.
Ladder to your dreams. That's what you're on. You
That's
see?
exactly what it feels like.
Exactly. There you go. That's the ladder to your dreams. And that's the intention of the card is when you show up and you start climbing the ladder to your dreams appears. And so by starting off this Instagram chat, you started the ladder to your dreams. You showed up for it and you started the bottom rung, and now you're moving up. And
And now we're moving.
and
Yes.
that's the oracle cards. And now I'm looking to get them out there because it's just very recent I did this, so I haven't published it or uh,
We're waiting for it. We're ready,
exactly,
right?
yeah. So there's 45 cards, and I want to get
45
it out
Oracle
there, and
cards.
it's
I
going to be
can't
cool to,
wait till you get it out there so I can get in. Martina said she wants it. There was a couple other
yeah.
comments I think that they said, where can I buy it?
So
Yeah, we're ready.
I'm gonna put the buy thing on my new 10K Oracle thing.
Oh, yes, ticket
Buy Life is a
cards.
Rainbow. It's called Life is
Yes.
a Rainbow. Okay, so
I
so,
love it.
yeah,
Yes, it's like motivational flashcards. I am so excited and I
cool.
can't wait till this out there. Oh my
That's
goodness.
fun, yeah. So yeah, it's a fun thing, and it came out of a nice process and creative process and intuitive process. Not really planning to do it; it just came out naturally. So I'm really happy. It's a fun thing.
Look, and Martina, she's in France. She said she would buy.
Yeah,
Wow,
we're
yeah.
making a French version as well.
Ah, this is so exciting. Yes.
Cool.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think an hour has gone by that quickly,
Yes.
even though we started after an hour. That is so amazing. I Time doesn't even exist. When I'm doing these conversations, I'm telling you, time does not exist. I ask every guest, and I know you've watched it before, but I ask every guest to give a word, one word, or a sentence that that can help us carry on as we continue to move forward and go over and choose that rainbow. What would you say? One word or a sentence?
My sentence is success is your ally.
Success is your ally. I gotta write that down. I always have my notebook because I'm always learning something. Success is your ally. Oh my goodness, I love that.
And the idea is that it's our friend, and when we show up for our friend, it shows up for us. And if you think success is your friend, it's going to show up.
Absolutely. I want to thank everyone for coming on here and giving me and David your time and your gift of your time. I really, really appreciate it. She said, yes, time doesn't exist. Thank you, Martina. Thank you, Hairstyle Nation. Thank you, 10K Cards, for your amazing contribution to this show of Choose Your Path. Is there anything else that you want to let us know before we say?
I just want to thank you and everybody for showing up. It's been a great conversation. I was looking forward to it, and it totally
So was I.
Everything that I imagined, because I just had such a good feeling about you, and
thank you.
And I'm so grateful you reached out to me, because it's sort of improbable, but again, we're from different paths, and that's what this great show
It was the
about.
rainbow.
Yeah, the rainbow connected us.
It was the rainbow. And if you see any of the previous speakers, everyone is they do totally different things. It's not like I talk to just one area. I want to talk to the world. So if someone's a speaker, hey, come on. If someone's a writer, absolutely. Yep, you too. We're creating. That's what this is about. It's about choosing your path. It's about creating. It's about believing it is possible. So thank you so much for sharing your brand with me. I'm so excited about your Oracle cards, because I want them right now. Like
cool.
I wish I could press the button. So when we add it, when you have it, we can add it to your card.
I need your entrepreneurial spirit to help me out on that. So
I
get
got
your book. I got to get your book to get me motivated on the entrepreneurial.
Absolutely. You can find so many amazing habits in there. I'm telling you, to get you going. Well, all of these hearts right here should definitely get you moving, because we're ready, right? We're excited, yeah. Martina. Yep. And 10K Cards and everyone is on here. We're excited about your Oracle cards. You got to get them. So we can add them. We can add them to your amazing card here.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you so much, David. Have an amazing night, because it's nighttime there, right?
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock here, but I'm going to be on high energy for a few more hours after this call.
Isn't that amazing? Thank you so much. I know that's amazing when we do these.
You bring up the energy in me, and
See?
I was like, I'm not going to sleep now.
I'm so happy. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Great. Thank you.